Welcome, YouTube and Google Plus, to the Memorial Day Hangout of Wolf King. All right, so we're gonna go into the radio for real quick, see what's trending, going on crazy. All right, what do we got first? We got Caden Calger on West Virginia has access to pot.
And by the way, someone needs to tell him to stop taking videos from below the crotch because it really looks weird. And let me.
As much as I love Bob Marley, he really does seem to kill it in a cheesy way. Okay, I'm just going to skip this.
There's an article on CNN. West Virginia City had 27 heroin overdoses in 4 hours. That was reported from CNN. There were 27 heroin overdoses within a 24-hour period, including one death in Huntington, West Virginia, southern part of the state, near Logan County, just a little bit away. And that's the thing. According to the CDC, Center for Disease Control, marijuana users are 3 times more likely to become addicted to heroin. But don't tell that to Richard Ojeda from the Logan County senatorial area, because, I mean, guys, he's so bombed out of his mind on this stuff. Go ahead and listen to this. This is Senator Richard Ojeda from Logan County's 7th senatorial district. Go ahead and listen.
I will tell you that I'm starting to really see that there is a dictatorship, not a democracy right now that's going on.
So that's what he's saying. There's a dictatorship taking place. This is the guy that is the head sponsor of the weed bill that wants to get everybody high. Okay, so he's saying that there's a dictatorship going on. There's a dictatorship going on in the state legislature. Why?
There's people that do not want this, but they don't want it because of their own personal feelings and beliefs.
Oh, really? So you mean to tell me that the reason why you want this is not because of your own personal feelings and beliefs? Senator Pothead, is that what you're telling me? Because every single thing that you mentioned in your little video segments are not composed in any scientific studies, of any facts, of any information, other than, oh, pot makes me feel good. It helps me with...
Okay, just to help this retard out, with what we've been seeing with this trend of states allowing marijuana to be used by individuals, we've seen an increase in the tax revenue. We've seen an increase of money going into programs people need. We've seen a drop in the crime rate. While there might be some unknown variables, like with, I don't know, DUIs, like driving while high, maybe, or perhaps I have to see the CDC related report about marijuana being linked with heroin, or being something of a gateway drug, because, you know, to my knowledge, that theory was debunked earlier on. But yeah, if anything, all he's doing is making an argument, or providing a basis for an argument for tax and regulation. You know, I mean, you can go back with the prohibition thing to where they made alcohol legal. You know, black market, that was the only resource that was actually making money off it. So allowing it to grow in the free market, allowing individuals to make the decision themselves, was a better decision over criminalizing people for basically doing something that effectively harms no one else. So,
hey, I mean, that's literally what you're saying. And if you want to talk about CBD oil, and you're talking about epilepsy and things like that, okay, then talk about that. But no, you're talking about psychoactive substance that you're wanting to put people on, a substance known for having negative health issues. And you're saying, oh, no, all that stuff is false. That's big pharma. They don't know what they're talking about. It's really easy to just completely deny facts if all the organizations that provide facts you discredit. because that's basically what he's doing. He's saying all these organizations out there providing these studies and research and information, they are all they're all with big pharma. They're all working for the multi pharmaceutical complex that is taking over the United States.
I think the saddest part about this is his blatant ignorance on the situation. For one, we all know marijuana actually brings in a lot of money, which benefit a lot of people. Second, there have been limited research in the United States with regard to the effects of medical marijuana, and showing that it does have moderate health benefits, but actually having more access to it would lead to more innovation, probably seeing what further extent do the medical benefits have when it comes to medical marijuana treatment. But yeah, this guy, he's basically just sort of he's fine with this big brother totalitarian system telling people what they can and can't do with their bodies. I mean, this guy is supposed to be all about freedom and liberty, but he's going to do it when it has something that he doesn't care for on a personal basis. I think that's hypocritical. I don't see how people are going to follow suit in his view.
I don't like.
All right, 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to get the doorbell. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I'm back. Let's get back to pulling this retard.
A lot of the stuff that some pharmaceutical companies put out there. But the thing is that you're discrediting credible information that is widely accepted across the scientific community as having harmful effects. There are carcinogens in marijuana smoke. That is a fact, okay? Many of the same carcinogens found in tobacco smoke. That is a fact. Marijuana is fat soluble, meaning that it stays in your system for a minimum of 3 weeks, can go into months. Why? Because it stores itself in the fat. Unlike alcohol, which leaves your body within a 24-hour period. So, and it's not tobacco is not psychoactive. Marijuana is. Keep playing.
Yeah, well, tobacco is also harmful as well. It could cause emphysema, forms of cancer, lung cancer. Having stomas, if I'm not mistaken, like invoked in your neck and all that. You don't see that being illegal. It's just tax and regulating. The information's out there, so people won't get excessive and do it at various amounts where it could be unhealthy. I mean, I don't see how it should stay illegal as a result of this. So let's hear from this guy.
It is not a
This guy kind of reminds me of that blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit. I get this head shape.
gateway drug.
Really?
Like I said, if it is a gateway drug, it's a gateway out of opioid addiction.
That is so funny. It's not a gateway drug. All right, Mr. Senator Pothead, go to a rehab facility and ask those people who are in that facility if they smoked marijuana before they went on to things like heroin, before they went on to things like coke. Every single one of them will tell you that marijuana was the first drug that they did. It was.
Oh, Caden. Rush Limbaugh Jr. Anecdotal evidence. That's terrible evidence. That's tantamount to saying I have Jesus in my heart because I experience him every day. I mean, how does that bring any kind of concrete empirical data to the table? How? I can tell you how it doesn't. Anecdotes don't mean anything. I can get anecdotes for this guy that people have been saved through medical marijuana. But would he believe that? I don't think so.
It's the first drug that they did. Okay? Because that introduces them to the drug culture. CDC reports that marijuana users are 3 times more likely to become addicted to heroin. We have a heroin epidemic in West Virginia. In Huntington, West Virginia, you had 27 people that over.
Yeah, if we're gonna bring anecdotal evidence to the table, I don't do heroin, so I guess the statistic doesn't mean shit by that logic.
Overdosed on heroin last year within a 24-hour period. Or excuse me, not 24-hour period, a 4-hour period. So yeah, it is a gateway drug. I have several friends personally that I know, that I care about, that I've grown up with, that have gotten on marijuana, and they go on to harder substances. Not everyone who smokes weed goes on to harder substances, but most people who are on harder substances were on weed just prior to their experimentation with those harder substances. So keep playing it. Here we have Richard Ojeda, a.k.a. Senator Pothead.
One of the bills that they're trying to do is to say, or the amendments, they're trying to say that if you are issued a medicinal marijuana card, you can't own a firearm, which is absolutely ludicrous. Do you take people's weapons that have Oxycontin?
So, see, that's another thing, all right? Federal law, if you smoke it, you can't have a firearm. So, no, that's not something that they're trying to pass. That's the way that it presently is now. That is a federal form that they have to fill out. So, yeah, apparently you are overwhelmingly uneducated on this. Keep playing. This is another thing.
So I don't care, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to play no games anymore.
Okay.
The time of being nice is almost at an end. They're going to kill a bill that is meant to help people.
Meant to help people. All right. So let's look at all the side effects of marijuana, since it's supposed to help so many people, right? Okay, let's look, and these are all from very.
Yeah, the reason I didn't respond to the medical marijuana people can't buy guns part is because, I mean, I really have no dog in that fight with regard to gun control. I mean, if they think that might impair their ability to, utilize the firearms accurately, then that's fine. But other than that, people should be discriminated against by virtue of them doing it. I think that's a whole different ballgame altogether.
Studies that have been conducted by universities, by national health organizations. You have side effects of marijuana include schizophrenia, paranoia, social anxiety disorders, raises the risk of depression, thoughts of suicide, worsens symptoms of bipolar disease, learning, memory, and attention are impaired.
You know what? That sounds like it could go on a box or something like on the side, so that if you don't, to warn people of doing it excessively. That sounds like this sounds like a lot of useful information to have, so that a person could, well, how do I say, pace themselves when they're imbibing on said substance. Like I said before, I said it again, tax and regulation.
Even potentially following marijuana usage. Other causes of psychosis, chronic bronchitis, myocardial infarctions, carcinogens through the smoke, or raises the risk of testicular cancer. This information can be found in studies from the University of Texas in Dallas, University of Washington, National Academy of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, National Institute of Mental Health, and the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of.
I mean, hell, in some medical marijuana treatments is actually used to against cancer or some forms of cancer. So I mean, it cuts both ways.
Health, but no, it doesn't cause any negative health effects, right? This is all totally for your benefit. So keep playing it here.
I want as many people as possible to come to the Capitol. We're going to be in the Capitol tomorrow. Be there all week. Come there Sunday.
Yeah, that's real mature, real professional. Ad homs, making fun of the guy's voice. Yeah, you're really showing your age, buddy.
Come there Sunday. Okay, so he's going to be there all week. And by the way, tomorrow, this was published on the 31st on his little Facebook page. Imagine he was surprising. He was not high enough to post it, but yeah, he was at the Capitol on April 1st, so that's a perfect date for him.
The time is we're done sitting here waiting on people to do what they want. This isn't their show. We are all actors.
Yes, you are.
That are supposed to follow a script.
Yes, you are.
Written by the people of West Virginia. And we don't get to go off script. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. When the majority of people in the state of West Virginia are definitely in support of medicinal marijuana.
Okay, so here's the thing, Senator Pothead. Where are you getting that the majority of people in West Virginia are in support of it? That most of West Virginia is on drugs? No. I mean, seriously, where are you getting that? There hasn't been any poll of the people of West Virginia, so you don't know that. But no, you can't say that because we don't know. We don't have the research to back it up. All he's saying is that because I like to get high, it should be legal. That's basically it. And because I like it, it's healthy. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And we have countless people across our state that is suffering from Crohn's disease, from multiple types of cancers.
No. Okay, freeze. If we're going to say multiple types of cancers, then yeah, let's go to Marinol pills. Okay.
First off, let's deal. First off, let's deal with what Cowgirl said earlier. Okay. The latest national survey by the Pew Research Center conducted March 25th to 29 among 1,500 adults find that supporters legalizing the use of marijuana are far more likely than opponents to say they have changed their mind on this issue. Let's see. And he was mocking this individual, this person, this senator, because apparently, he didn't cite any sources, but check it out. That's something, right? It's amazing. It's almost like this kid is talking out of his ass. And it's funny because he's a Canadian and his country is actually about to vote to make it legal themselves. But when asking their own words why they favor or oppose legalizing marijuana, people on opposite sides of the issue offer very different perspectives. But a common theme is the danger posed by marijuana. Supporters of legalization mention its perceived health benefits or see it as no more dangerous than other drugs. The opponents, it is a dangerous drug that inflicts. Yeah, but the main thing is the legalization of marijuana are its medical benefits and the belief that it's no worse than other drugs, to it being uh, no more dangerous than alcohol or cigarettes. And this is after several states have followed suit with these measures. Yeah, so this kid's full of shit. A little more of his crap, and we'll move on.
No, why are we not doing that? Because you want to smoke it to get high. That's why you want it legal, to get high.
From multiple sclerosis.
Are you butthurt that no one ever wanted to hang out with you in high school and do this stuff, and now you're sort of taking it out on other people? Is that it? I mean, I can see it. You're kind of a joy killer, so anyway.
From Parkinson's disease, from Alzheimer's disease, from it's there, PTSD. And
okay, freeze. All right. For a lot of the stuff that he's talking about, Parkinson's disease and that kind of stuff, research shows that it might not help. Okay? A lot of research out there says that it does not help. That was actually recognized as being.
Yeah, it might not help. Well, first off, you can't make a broad statement like that. Depends on the particular individual and the ailment that they're under, and whether or not there could be effects in their treatment to yield positive benefits. So, you don't know that exactly. So, anyway, now that I've crushed this fucker, we can move on. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we got the asshole consulting guy. How to get revenge on liberals.
This fat, bald with women, and I know I believe I had been coming back from either a dance or a date hadn't gone the right way. Typical bullshit. Probably got something to do with women, and I know you hate women. No, it was unacceptable behavior. I usually don't get that angry, but it's like either getting stood up or canceled. Something was wrong. Kevin was in a bad mood. So I'm lit drinking, and in walks in this fat, bald, almost 60-year-old guy. And he's with this drop-dead gorgeous 25-year-old, 20-something babe. And I by that time, I'm like, fuck this. I've had enough bullshit. This is bullshit. Look at this fat guy who's about to die if he...
It sounds like he just butthurt that dude had a girlfriend, he didn't. Which I can understand, that sucks, but envy, that's like drinking poison waiting for the other person to die, honestly. I mean, I could see the bitterness in this man's eyes, but I mean, goddamn. All right, let's hear more of a story.
If he drowns another Polish sausage, and he's got this babe on his arm, so he gets up, and in my drunken stupor, I thought it'd be a good idea to go up there and interrogate this 25-year-old girl. So I'm like, what the fuck has he got? What the hell is wrong with you?
Hey, bitch. Why you with this fat bald guy? You should get with me. I'm younger. I'm a great guy. You should be into me. I'm I'm all about conservative values and shit, man. You should be with me, baby. Like, what the hell? What poor fucking taste.
Are you joking me? There's guys, and like, this is in front of a couple other people. She's like, well, he treats me right. And I'm like, oh, get out of here. I mean, I was very rude, very uncalled for, even though there was every right to ask those questions. Where it's like,
not really. I mean, you don't know the person. Like, you're obviously, you're bitter that you're alone in whatever social venue this happens to be in, and you're interrogating this person for why they have this connection with this with this guy that you just don't like based on how they look. You're a shallow fucking idiot. That's all you. That's all that this story is. One big fucking shallow loser who's so buttered at someone else's success that they need to whine to someone else about it. Like, isn't that supposed to be the things that you're against? Holy fuck, Jesus.
what? Really, what? Well, thinking I'm gonna get in a fight because I go and sit back down. This guy comes back from the bar or from the bathroom, and instead of like coming up and I was ready to go, he offers to buy me a drink, and I'm like, sure, fuck you, asshole. I'll take a free. I'll get a little bit of crumbs off your plate. Sure, can't have that, babe, because I guess you got the magic dick or something. I guess you just, you have it, and us young guys with our shit together don't. So I got a free drink off the guy.
Oh yeah, bud. Yeah, you're self-made, dude. You got everything all worked out in your life. Yeah. I mean, you're only getting drunk, in public and friggin' accosting a woman because she's gorgeous and with a guy that you don't happen to like based on how he looks, And the guy's cool, offers you a drink. It's like, oh, this asshole's gonna offer me a drink. Might as well get that. Yeah. Might as well mooch off this guy in some way. Can't fuck his babe. What a defeated fuck.
And that was probably my third worst hangover in my life. And I learned something from that. This guy, as much as disagreeable as I found it, a 25-year-old was going out with him. This guy was smart. He knew he could fight me, beat me up, whatever, and maybe cause me a little bit of damage, but then there'd be legal problems and all that. Or for what is nothing to him, pennies to him, because it turned out later on she was a whore. And he was renting her.
It was enough to make your sorry ass jealous. I'm amazed you could laugh at that. Oh, but I love that. Oh yeah. She was a whore. I didn't even want her. I mean, she looked fine, but I didn't like her. I only went over there and ranted at her. I only cared enough to get involved in a conversation with these people.
And I'm not making that up. People are like, dude, you just told off the local harlot. And I'm like, what? She's an escort. I'm like, what? He had the money for that effortless task on his part to buy me a drink. He caused me way more damage, way more legal damage without even having to lift a finger. It was a brilliant stroke of genius, and I learned this. I learned from that. So whatever disagreement I may have had with that guy, no matter how pissed off, that was a brilliant stroke. And I've even tried to use that before. There was like this dude, bro, and he was like drunk at some bachelor party. I'm like, dude, let me get your rumplements. And I was going to like give him a triple shot, just fucking, because he was already gone. I was going to do the exact, and he didn't want it. I'm like, damn it. But I was kind of like, oh man, I could have had that. But let me tell you another tale. I go to the grocery store. This is immediately after Trump got elected. And the checkout dude is this scrawny, typical pussy, limp-wristed piece of shit high school senior kid who probably hasn't even hit puberty yet. And I don't know if his teacher or the media or whatever told him, somebody told him, because if you were a self-respecting individual, you wouldn't talk to your clients who's just simply checking out groceries at the grocery store about politics. So he's like, oh, how about that Trump thing? I'm like, yeah, boy, you never saw that coming. Yeah, that's...
I wonder what happens in this scenario.
It's kind of over for our futures now. And so I looked at the kid, and I'm like, I can stereotype because it's true. I said, what do you you in college? No, I'm graduating this year. I'm going to go to college. I say, what for? He says, theater. I say, oh man, you know, that's a tough degree to get a job. And I say, you really ought to go and get yourself at least a master's, but preferably a doctorate. I mean, you really ought to commit to a doctorate. All right. And that is the lesson I'm trying to convey to you here. Older people, younger, but predominantly younger people tend to be liberals. This is going to work for every liberal leftist out there. But if you want a cause, an inordinate amount of pain, forget pain, you want to ruin somebody's life, you want to ruin a young, idiotic leftist life, there's no arguing with them, there's no reasoning with them, there's no, hey, like, you got to think about your future, you got to think about where does the money come from, you got to study basic economics, what if you have kids, It's pointless. It's pointless to argue with leftists. So why not give them a push down that road anyway? Why not give them a little help? Why not convince them that they need to do what all good liberals do, and that is get more and more education. They can't put a price on education. Actually, you can. It's egregiously expensive. But since they're not going to listen,
I literally don't get what the hell he's talking about. It really just sounds like he's just admitting defeat and just admitting he has no real good arguments against the people he doesn't like. Yeah, I'm tired of this crap. One more minute.
And for many of you, the goal has switched from trying to reason, rationalize, help, explain, get on the same team, correct, like you're wrong. They have believed in this ideology that there's no convincing them. And now you have gone from help to punish. And so you can yell, you can troll, not control, you can troll in the comments section. You can point out the truth, that's one that I've always used. But I have found, especially when it comes to younger people, especially if they don't know your politics or your aim, you can always encourage them to get more, higher, and much more expensive college degrees. You really want to hurt leftists? You really want to hurt liberals? And make them so that they do it themselves. Encourage them to get master's and doctorate degrees in the liberal arts and the humanities. Encourage them to continue down the path of academia, never setting foot in the real world, so that they are debt-laden to the point that they will never, well, they're also unemployable with these worthless degrees, but they are forever stuck in academia, working as part-time adjunct faculty, maybe making $18 an hour. Ooh, they get their stipend for being a PhD student. Ooh, they work for that $2,000.
So encouraging them to do academics or conduct academic research. That's your revenge. I mean, I will admit that the SJW influence is sort of poison that. I would hope that those people who do take your advice actually open their minds up to the possibilities. But yeah, it just really sounds like a lot of bitterness, a lot of regret, and a lot of just a lot of ignorance on this guy's part. Okay, final video. The Babylonian Lottery fundraiser ritual.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to our event. As you know, this is our Babylonian Lottery ritual. It's a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser for the Protect Children Project.
Yeah, so this is one of their causes, the Protect Children Project for the Satanic Temple, basically making sure that the children are protected in the school system, making sure they're not being abused, while in the classes. So they're using this Babylonian lottery thing to fundraise for that.
Corporal punishment is something that the Satanic Temple cares about, because one of our core fundamental beliefs is that one's body is inviolable and subject to one's own will alone. side of each of these cards, there is a fate. And if you want to know what sort of fates might await you, in between the artwork around the walls, there are symbols that appear on these cards. Written underneath are some of the fates. It could be silence, where you are bound so you cannot speak for the next hour. It could be some sort of reward, like the cornucopia card. If you choose the cornucopia card, then present that at the bar, and it will be free drinks for the rest of the evening. Up to a limit. The magic really isn't like, totally unlimited. Or you can choose the death card. And if you choose the death card, there's nothing cost. You will be ritually sacrificed to the goddess Ishtar. Now, because we're being filmed, maybe I should redo that so it doesn't get edited. We're not actually going to kill anybody. I apologize for saying that. So, let me do this again. If you pick the death card, then you will be sacrificed in a simulated ritual sacrifice to the goddess Ishtar.
I just love the art and majesty behind this. This is really nice.
There we go. All right, come on up. Bigger card. Hey, Shark, what is it? What is it? Echo. So the echo punishment means that for the rest of the evening, you cannot speak unless you're repeating something that someone else says to you.
Nice. All right, let's skip to near the ending. Lovely. Hail Satan. Take a white bitties. Hail Satan. Hail Satan. That was brilliantly executed. But yeah, that was that. So let's see what else do we have. What else is trending? What else do we got? We have okay, we can work with this. Okay, we got a mad problem for Donald Trump.
Big tobacco must love that.
Sorry, we were avoiding an ad because personally, speaking as the YouTube user, I hate ads. So that's why I chopped it out for you. Thank you. All right, now let's play the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Well, thank you very much. Very kind. Well, President Trump is still on his semester abroad and getting those extra credits. And he might want to stay over there for a little while until the fireman can put out his budget proposal. Because not only does nobody like it, but it turns out it has a huge mistake in it. Not the part about cutting funding for cancer research. That's just one of his passion projects. It turns out that the entire budget is based on a $2 trillion math error. Now, yes, that's trillion with a T. Now, there's a simple explanation for how this happened. Donald Trump is an idiot. Or...
Shouldn't I thought Bush was a C+ student?
Or he's lying because his budget claims there will be magically $2 trillion of new tax revenue from economic growth when we cut rich people's taxes. It's called trickle down, something we know Trump loves. And then it factors in the same made up $2 trillion again as a way to offset that tax cut for the wealthy. That's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, but you're paying Paul with a Blockbuster gift certificate. It's not.
Oh, come on, Colbert. Come on. He is a job creator, okay? He owns Trump Towers. He worked from the ground up, okay? He started out with nothing. He worked hard, and that's how he became a billionaire. Oh, wait. He actually inherited his money. He went into bankrupt 4 times, and he actually makes money off his own name. And he's not a billionaire, he's a millionaire. Oh yeah, oh my bad. I was using alternative facts, my bad. Old facts.
Doesn't work anymore. This is such an accounting blunder that former Secretary of the Treasury Larry Summers called it a logical error of the kind that would justify failing a student in an introductory economics course. Or get you tenure at Trump University. But Trump's budget director, Mick Mulvaney, defended the math.
Regarding a double counting, here's one of the things I think that a lot of folks have overlooked. And we did it on purpose because it's sort of hard to count this and you don't want to make too many assumptions.
Yeah. You don't want to make assumptions because when you assume, you make an ass out of you, Mick Mulvaney. Now, let me see if I can help. Here is a basic math lesson for Donald Trump. If a train leaves Washington, D.C., traveling at 40 miles an hour, please get on it. Just go.
Nice.
Go east, actually. Just go east.
That is the best thing about Trump. He is an excellent law scout. He could bring material that could last comedians and satirists and political commentators for years to come. That was a delight. That was a treat. All right, so this has gone well, I believe. Let's see, what else do I have? Is that okay? We could. I guess we could do a quick thing on Black Pigeon Speaks.
the Milky Way galaxy were the size of the United States, our whole star system would only be a sphere 2 inches across, and the sun itself would be the size of a period at the end of a sentence. And the nearest star system to ours would be about a football field's distance away, and all other stars are roughly that distance from one another. And the Milky Way is just one out of a billion galaxies in the observable universe. When you compare the sheer size of the universe, human life looks not only tiny, but about as significant as the bacteria that you kill without thought every time you brush your teeth. Now, with that in mind, try and imagine that there is an extra-dimensional being of unlimited power. This being is both omniscient and can create and just as easily destroy interdimensional infinite universes on a whim. Now, imagine this eternal, extra-dimensional, omnipotent being micromanaging and observing in an obsessive-compulsive manner over the daily behavior of all humans as well as the depths of our belief in him, much the same way we would observe Plaque.
That's fucking creepy.
Except for the fact that if Plaque doesn't worship us in the exact correct manner we demand, we'd be hard-pressed to selectively punish them individually for all eternity. And actually, this omniscient entity would only really obsess with the portion of humanity that was able to be lucky enough to not only suspend disbelief, but also find the one true correct method in which to offer up worship to this deity out of the tens of thousands of religions that have come and gone throughout the millennia. This is why you find many thoughtful atheists who look at the enormity of existence and cannot find their spirituality in the existing religions on offer, nor can they see a divine spark with regards to consciousness and life. All of this is an accident. Thus, I'm not saying God does or does not exist, but as we understand the universe.
Yeah, accident assumes intent, so that wouldn't be the word. I would say a spontaneous byproduct. Let's work with that. At least then there are variables to work with.
It seems very strange that a creature with this amount of power would not only look like us, but actually care about things like sloth, gluttony, avarice, among other sins. It could be also that we are looking at reality inside out, where standard science would have you believe that matter gives rise to consciousness rather than the other way around. But either way, any way you look at it, we do not understand the universe that we inhabit, nor especially the uniqueness of consciousness. And in an upcoming video, I'm going to try and explain why it will probably be impossible for us to ever do so without assistance.
I hope this guy is not trying to make a God of the Gaps hypothesis, because it sounds close to it. You know, we can't explain things, therefore let's inject this invisible entity who loves us and cares for us. Yeah, let's not go down that road.
That is. Also, for clarity, I have for many years considered myself an agnostic theist, just making this clear before the inevitable rebuttal videos from the skeptic community surface and try to manufacture controversy. But just so we are clear, I am not Christian, nor do I identify as a Christian. While some atheists are content with not believing in God and allowing others their choice to do the opposite, there is a loud and screeching minority that has made it their job to tell you that if you believe in God, you are stupid. Even erudite and very intelligent men like Richard Dawkins proselytize. That's right, they proselytize by explaining that God does not exist and people who believe in a prime mover are, in his words, delusional. And he and people like him, including Sam Harris and the late Christopher Hitchens, are very well-spoken and educated men. The problem is they and their lesser parrots only argue the concept of God on a philosophical or scientific level, but fail to observe the logical conclusions of their crusade against religion.
Oh, and by the way, for any of the atheists who do say that theists, if you believe in God, you're stupid by virtue of being a theist. Yeah, they're in error. You can be smart whether or not you're a theist. It's just how far you take the religion that is worthy of scrutiny.
Religion. While many that advocate atheism, and that atheists, in Dawkins' words, can be happy and moral people. And I do not disagree with this at all. Advocates of atheism offer nothing, no substitute for the vast majority of people that do believe in God, nor do they even contemplate, let alone speak of the social vacuum that has been created in places like Europe with the fall of Christianity.
Humanism, duh. You ever looked at the social democracies of the Scandinavia? A lot of those people are secular and they're living happy, fulfilled lives. So, there's no social vacuum over there. They're doing pretty well. They're far up on the social progress index, on the human development index, doing pretty well.
While Dawkins, Harris, and Hitchens, to their credit, were equally vocal in their denunciations of all religions, given the society in which they operate in and the potential populations that would be receptive to their arguments, the only real target for derision in the West is always singular. Targeting Christianity is always the easy option because it has always been an integral part of most of the West for at least 1,000 years. Criticism of Islam, on the other hand, has always carried with it the credible threat of violence, as we have now seen across the Western world. But this is the thing. Christianity has been a pillar of the Western world throughout its ascendance to its current prominence and dominance. Western culture has shaped Christianity just as much as Christianity has shaped Western culture. The morality expressed and enforced in the teachings of the varied sects is uniquely Western in temperament and structure. This absolutism produced the modern world around us. It fosters charity, community, education, collectivism, and most importantly, family. This is what you're fighting when you fight Christianity, and this is what Christians are defending. The vast majority of...
Okay, well, first off, I think that's like you speaking a lot of propaganda for the most part. Now, I will say there's a grain of truth in that. Yeah, Christianity has been a part of the West. It's been in Europe and to a lesser degree in the United States for forever. That being said, which I think is a bit of an argument from tradition, I don't think it's not without its criticisms and perceived f-ups. For example, in Europe during the Dark Ages, when people anytime they spoke out against the church or were to be at least a bit skeptical, they were either burned at the stake or friggin' locked up in their house for the rest of their life for doing their job. So I don't think that this idea that they're being persecuted anytime they don't get their way politically, I doubt that that's real. That's really like detrimental to society. If anything, it's just encouraging more equality and individual liberty for everyone for the most part. And I'm just going back to it. Hang on one bit. All right, I'm back. Now where were you? Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean the various atrocities like the Crusades, the Spanish Inquisition, the like the witch burnings and all this stuff. It's not like it has like a clean slate. So I think encouraging a separation of church and state is a pretty good thing for encouraging the human rights and equality of all people and all groups. And I think the like just the growth of civilization, what we've seen is a result of the age of enlightenment when we were sort of separating from this religious dogma and authoritarianism and looking to science and reason for answers. So yeah, I think he sort of bought into the Christian persecution complex.
Practicing Christians don't care if snakes can talk, if parting the Red Sea actually ever happened, or if Jesus was really able to turn water into wine. They care about their communities and culture, as well as the belief that there is a higher power that helps guide their own moral agency. When your average fedora-equipped atheist, quote-unquote, debates Christians, they attack the historical validity of Scripture, the obvious logical missteps of an ancient text, and smugly congratulate themselves for being so much smarter than those theist nincompoops, all the while missing the point entirely. Science
Well, you know, as for the most part, I would actually agree with him in that there's a record few Americans actually take the Bible as literal, but there is a loud minority that still tries to sneak it in for the sake of encouraging their personal views on a government level. And I can't speak for every atheist. Like I'm not some atheist leader in the community or whatever. But that being said, most of the time, if I ever do step in and comment on this stuff, it's usually for the sake of separation of church and state. It's usually on a political kind of fact-based basis. So that's where I'm coming from. That's my foundation.
Proves the validity of claims in the Bible. Sure, I'm not disputing that, but I'm talking about the benefits of religion as a social institution. Where is the logic behind alienating, demonizing, and ultimately removing an essential moral and social foundation that humans in one way or another have embraced since prehistory from Western society? And replacing it with, oh yeah, that's right, nothing but a sucking vacuum that is currently being filled by another and arguably extremely virulent and aggressive religion that finds atheism, ironically, to be among the worst crimes a man can commit. When you say you don't need God to be a moral person, I totally agree with you. I don't either, but 86% of the planet does. And that 16% that has no God are generally concentrated in two places, the West and the Far East. Both places, I might add, suffering from demographic implosion.
Wow, appeal popularity. I would say that, I really don't care about what the majority thinks or the minority thinks. I really don't care about like what those numbers appeal. As long as we have like decent political rights where we can express our belief and non-belief without persecution or discrimination, I'm fine with that. All right. And I'm not saying I want to kick religion out of society. As long as we have like a secular government and as long as we have a free exchange of ideas and everything like that. And, maybe honestly, my argument is this: if we give a like less of a fuck about religion or, what place we're going to go to after we die or appealing some invisible man in the sky, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and focusing on how to make this life better in the here and now, I think that has better a better potential for something more fulfilling than replacing it with mythology. Probably see if you could produce the next vaccine or getting us into space or something of substance.
Theories on the evolution of religion tend toward two camps. One argues that religion is a mental artifact co-opted from brain functions that evolved for other tasks. while the other contends that religion benefited our ancestors. Rather than being a byproduct of other brain functions, it is an adaptation in its own right. In this explanation, natural selection slowly purged human populations of the non-religious, as the non-religious are doing now by self-selecting small families or no children at all. But neither of these theories tell us why religion has been the glue that has held human societies together since the Stone Age. Science is an incredible and important tool for furthering our understanding of the universe, and oftentimes comes into conflict with religious teachings. Science, though, and it should be said, has been and is currently profoundly handicapped when it comes to explaining consciousness, which is an important, if not the most important component when it comes to understanding reality. A rational mind should obviously adjust their understanding of the universe to scientific findings. However, only an irrational person would advocate for the abandonment of the essential functions of religion and the unique character of our species' spiritual nature. A good synthesis.
You know what? That's a good thing. Well, you know, speaking as like at least a like a well-leveled, rational individual, I will say this. You know, personally, I'm not advocating the abandonment of religion. I mean, if you want to be religious, if that gets you through your day, if thinking you're going to go somewhere after you die, if that gets you to doing something great, fine, whatever. I mean, that's great. As long as you're not trying to invoke that shit in government and schools, I'm fine with that. I honestly don't give a fuck. But I think caring about that stuff beyond a personal basis, I think that is sort of inconsequential to actually living a fulfilling life in the here and now and doing things that have a real practical benefit to people, as opposed to praying that some entity does it for you in some ethereal plane or whatever.
And example is Japan. In Japan, the number of people that believe in God, for a want of a better word, is very small. However, whether a believer or not, the religious rituals associated with the various stages of life, birth, coming of age, death, as well as traditional festivals and ceremonies are intertwined in the Japanese culture. Whether a believer or not, people wanting babies, hoping for a good outcome in an important test, wanting good luck for the new year, or health for their ill family member, will head to a shrine, give their offering, and make their prayers. The moral codes of Buddhism, as well as the sensitivity of Shintoism, are intertwined with the culture, and while the vast majority of people have no belief in God, the spiritual, social, and cultural black hole that is atheism has never taken root in Japan. The point is, you don't have to subscribe to total belief to see the value of tradition.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could find like secular versions of this all the time. It's just like different words for different things. These rituals don't necessarily have to be religious in their nature to have the same benefits that they would have to people if they were religious otherwise.
Spiritual guidance and morality. In contrast, in place of religion in the modern West, there is moral relativism and nihilism, which is the new religion of modernity, where everything and anything is acceptable, so long as it's backed up by and couched in a grandiloquent argument.
Yeah, I don't know what. Well, first off, I don't know what he means by grandiloquence, but about what he stated with the whole moral relativism and nihilism, that doesn't necessarily follow. I'm pretty sure you could have a secular moral framework in absence of religion, and just to say that those are your only two choices, I feel like that's just a false dichotomy he has. Like it's just a slippery slope. Like he's ignoring the various secular moral systems and philosophies that one could adopt in absence of that, and just like I just stated earlier, like Scandinavia, they're doing well. They're irreligious as hell, and they're scoring on all the indexes like much higher than places like the United States, which is a religious country in terms of the population, but just in secular in terms of its laws. And just the comparison is just it's crazy. I don't know how to, like, it's unfathomable to the mind of a religious fundamentalist. But yeah, I just think that he's just stating his personal view about this. But anyway, that's my that's just what I have to say about that. That's my 2 cents on that. All right, well, I guess that's my hangout. This has been Wolf King. Peace out. If you like this video, you know what to do. Sape aude, del to know, and Ave Santanas. Good night.